Hey ChatGPT, was Jesus a white man? He was only for white people? What I mean to ask that Jesus was like Muslims, not like a white man. Is it correct?
Jesus is often depicted as white in Western art and culture, but historically, he was Middle Eastern Jew born in the region of Judea, modern-day Israel-Palestine. This means he likely had the physical characteristics typical of people from that area during the 8th century, such as darker skin and hair. And yes, that's correct that Jesus was like Muslims, not like a white man. Historically, Jesus would have looked more like a typical Middle Eastern man of his time rather than the European depictions often seen in art. This means he likely had darker skin, hair, and features similar to many people in the region today, including many Muslims.
The historical Jesus, a Middle Eastern figure. Jesus, a figure revered by billions, is often depicted in a way that diverges from his historical context. Throughout history, artists and theologians have portrayed him in various ways, often reflecting their own cultural and societal norms rather than the reality of his origins. Born in Bethlehem and raised in Nazareth, Jesus was a Jew in Roman-occupied Judea. This region, rich in history and culture, was a melting pot of different traditions and influences, all of which played a role in shaping his life and teachings. His life unfolded in the Middle East, shaping his identity and worldview. The landscapes, the towns, and the people he interacted with were all distinctly Middle Eastern, contributing to the unique perspective he brought to his teachings. Understanding the historical Jesus necessitates recognizing his Middle Eastern roots. His appearance, customs, and daily life were all reflective of the Jewish communities of that era, which were vastly different from the European depictions we often see. Jesus' teachings were deeply rooted in Jewish tradition, reflecting the religious and cultural landscape of his time. He participated in Jewish rituals, observed Jewish laws, and his parables often drew from the rich tapestry of Jewish folklore and wisdom. His interactions, parables, and messages resonated with the people of Judea, a region distinct from Europe in its customs and appearance. The marketplaces, the synagogues, and the daily life of Judea were the backdrop against which his ministry unfolded. To comprehend Jesus fully, we must envision him within this authentic historical setting. Only by placing him back into the context of his time and place can we truly appreciate the depth and significance of his teachings and the profound impact he had on the world. The physical appearance of Jesus. While no contemporary portraits of Jesus exist, we can still gather insights from historical accounts and common sense. These sources provide valuable clues to his appearance, helping us piece together a more accurate image. Living in first-century Judea, Jesus would have likely resembled the people of his time and place, blending in with the local population. This suggests a stark contrast to the often portrayed image of a fair-skinned, long-haired Jesus with European features, which is a more modern interpretation. Instead, Jesus likely had olive skin, dark curly hair, and dark eyes, characteristic of the people in the region. This aligns with the typical physical traits of Middle Eastern individuals. His clothing would have mirrored the simple attire worn in Judea, far removed from the elaborate robes often depicted in art. He would have worn plain, practical garments suitable for daily life. Recognizing these historical realities helps to reconstruct a more accurate image of Jesus. By understanding the context of his time and place, we can better appreciate the true appearance of this historical figure. The people of Judea in the first century. First century Judea was a melting pot of cultures due to its strategic location. However, the dominant physical characteristics of the Jewish people remained distinct. Historical records describe them as having dark hair, brown eyes, and olive skin tones, reflecting their Middle Eastern heritage. This physical appearance was a product of centuries of living in the region, their features adapting to the climate and environment. Jesus, as a Jew born and raised in Judea, would have shared these characteristics with his contemporaries. Understanding the physical traits of the people of Judea provides a crucial reference point for visualizing Jesus. Roman influence and the depiction of Jesus. The depiction of Jesus as a European-looking figure emerged centuries after his lifetime. This transformation was influenced by various factors, including the Roman Empire's embrace of Christianity. As Christianity spread throughout Europe, artists began portraying Jesus in a manner familiar to their audiences. Early Christian art often depicted Jesus with short hair and a beard, reflecting Roman artistic conventions of the time. This style, popularized in Byzantine art, became influential in shaping the visual representation of Jesus, moving away from his historical Middle Eastern appearance. The Roman influence marked a significant shift in how Jesus was perceived. Section 5. The Byzantine Era, a shift in artistic representation. The Byzantine Empire, the eastern continuation of the Roman Empire, witnessed a further evolution in the depiction of Jesus. This period marked a significant transformation in how religious figures were portrayed, reflecting the changing theological and cultural landscape of the time. Byzantine art, known for its intricate mosaics and revered icons, established a more standardized and recognizable image of Jesus. These artworks were not just decorative, but served as a means of conveying religious messages and teachings to the faithful. This image, while still influenced by Roman artistic styles, introduced new elements such as a prominent halo and more regal attire, symbolizing his divine authority and heavenly nature. The use of gold and rich colors further emphasized his otherworldly status. This depiction of Jesus as a divine figure with an otherworldly aura gained prominence throughout the Byzantine Empire and beyond. The spread of Byzantine religious art influenced neighboring regions, leaving a lasting impact on Christian iconography. The emphasis on his divinity sometimes overshadowed his humanity, further distancing his image from its historical roots. This shift reflected the theological focus of the time, which sought to highlight the divine nature of Christ over his human aspects. The Byzantine era solidified a particular visual interpretation of Jesus that would resonate for centuries. This legacy of Byzantine art continues to influence how Jesus is depicted in religious art to this day, showcasing the enduring power of these early representations. Section 6. The Renaissance and the Europeanization of Jesus. The Renaissance in Europe marked a turning point in the depiction of Jesus. Renaissance artists, influenced by classical art and humanistic ideals, sought to portray biblical figures in a more realistic and relatable manner. However, this realism often came at the expense of historical accuracy. European artists began depicting Jesus with long, flowing hair, blue eyes, and distinctly European features, reflecting the dominant aesthetic ideals of their time. This Europeanization of Jesus further solidified the image of a white, European-looking Christ, far removed from his Middle Eastern origins. The Renaissance solidified this image in the Western consciousness. Section 7. The spread of the European image. The invention of the printing press during the Renaissance played a crucial role in disseminating the Europeanized image of Jesus. Mass-produced Bibles and religious art featuring this image reached a wider audience than ever before. This widespread dissemination solidified the European Jesus as the dominant visual representation. European colonialism further amplified this phenomenon. As European powers ventured across the globe, they brought with them their religious imagery, including the Europeanized depiction of Jesus. This image was often presented as the definitive representation of Christ, influencing the perceptions of people in colonized lands. Section 8. Implications of the Europeanized image. The pervasiveness of the Europeanized image of Jesus has had profound implications. It has shaped the way generations have visualized Jesus, often overshadowing his Middle Eastern identity. This, in turn, has influenced perceptions of holiness, divinity, and even racial hierarchies. The association of divinity with European features has, at times, contributed to the notion of white supremacy and justified colonialism and oppression. Challenging this dominant image and acknowledging the historical Jesus is crucial for dismantling these harmful narratives. Section 9. Reclaiming the historical Jesus. Reclaiming the historical Jesus, a Middle Eastern man, is essential for a more accurate and inclusive understanding of Christianity. Recognizing his cultural and ethnic background challenges Eurocentric biases and promotes a more nuanced view of history. Embracing the historical Jesus fosters a more inclusive and representative faith, acknowledging the universality of his message. It encourages us to question preconceived notions and engage with the Bible and Christian tradition in a more critical and informed manner. Section 10. Conclusion. Embracing the true image. While artistic interpretations of Jesus may vary, it is crucial to remember his historical context. Jesus, a Middle Eastern Jew, lived and preached in a world vastly different from the one often portrayed in Western art. Recognizing this discrepancy is essential for a more accurate and respectful understanding of Jesus and his teachings. Embracing the historical Jesus challenges us to confront our own biases and embrace a more inclusive and representative faith. It is a reminder that divinity transcends race, ethnicity, and culture, inviting us to encounter the divine in all its diversity.
Thank you for listening. And that wraps up today's episode. I hope you enjoyed our discussion and found it inspiring. Remember, this podcast is all about sharing and connecting, so I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you like what you heard, please hit that like button and subscribe for more episodes. Your support truly helps me keep this journey going. Join me next time for more stories and insights. Until then, take care and à bientôt.